Mm-mm.
Yeah, we'll have to make a day to do that. All right, let's get started. This is footage from yesterday's open mats. So right off the bat, we see Chris climbing up Josh, which is fun. We've got Mitch and Brandon, and then it looks like Arson, one of our new students who's a former state champion wrestler, drilling with Kyle, or working with Kyle. Josh, what are you doing about this, man? You're in a tough spot here, bud. Brandon and Steven. Yeah, I don't think I've seen you dealing with this before. This is also a tough spot for Chris to break you down. Even here, if I was him, I'd probably try to put the power half Nelson to use just to like break your posture down, get you wanting to go down to the ground. It is a tough spot to actually take somebody down. You have no connection with the ground yourself, so it just becomes like a big hand fight battle to get to strangle. Looks like Cole and I starting off on the side here. Steven's going very nicely on Brandon. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say Kyle's doing a good job of trying to make sure how do you say the other guy's name?
Arsum.
Arsum. That Arsum stays in front of him right now. Like he's wrapped up a closed guard. Before that, he was executing like a pretty good half guard with a knee shield to try and keep distance and whatnot. But yeah, altogether he was doing a pretty good job of maintaining some good distance away from Arsum.
Yeah, I think as we see him training more, you're gonna see a lot of our guys, or not just like guys who've been around for a bit. The higher striped white belts and blue belts, realizing the utility of close guard in dealing with the wrestler. So you probably expect to see that a lot. Did we figure out the 360-degree camera? We don't have one of those, Josh. It's half that. Yeah, Cole's right. It's only 10 degrees off. Doing more of these leg locking rounds with Cole, and it's like he's finding these positions where I don't normally feel threatened with the straight ankle, but he manages to put on enough pressure that I hate it and I have to move, and it disrupts my entire offense on him. So even if he doesn't get the tap, it forces me to rethink my attack. Speaking of a straight ankle, go ahead.
I mean, half the time in leg lock exchanges, I'm really gauging for reactions, and like you did it right here, right? As soon as Cole grabbed your leg, your hips start coming up off the mat in order to relieve whatever pressure you're feeling. And that's just giving opportunities for Cole to start sweeping into the legs and kind of moving deeper into position. So threatening those even though you don't have anything, it just to get a reaction is totally fine.
And then Brandon here going for legs on Steven, so opting to sit here and attack the leg.
Oh yeah,
not a terrible approach. It looks like he's thinking straight ankle lock right now, because I don't see
he got his feet mixed up a little bit. He tried to go a Rimiyashi like with the knee on the outside and then the foot on. But looks like he tried to get that straightened out.
Yeah, I really want to see him reap Steven's knee for no other reason than to possibly injure Steven and make me feel better about the fact that I don't leg lock him anymore. I don't know what to say to that, Eric. Here's the other thing with this straight ankle. This hand position that Brandon's using is very low For a straight ankle or a heel hook, regardless of what you go for, you're going to want your hand position much closer to your chin. You're not going to get any real torque out of this one, Brandon. So we can work on that a little bit. But there's a lot to tighten up here if you really want to dig in on a straight ankle lock. That's a real shame, Eric. A little non sequitur. Not quite within my subject matter expertise. I think you said you were from Denmark or something, I think, last time. So I have no idea what what sort of taxes you owe in that state or in that country. Let's see. Meanwhile, Josh has made his way to Chris's back. Gets both hooks in. Probably over the face on this one, maybe.
Ooh, that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know if Andrew's on right now. I don't want to pick apart his match with Luke here because it's definitely like tough dealing with him, as you'll see me get handled later. But one comment I had for him when I was rolling with him was when I was in mount, I don't think he was quickly enough trying to work to an inside elbow position to work his mount escapes, and that's something I don't want you guys sleeping on. The easiest time to get out of those positions is like right when they're being established. You know, if you let your opponent settle in, it's gonna just become that much harder. The position kind of just gets cured, and it's harder to break out of it at that point. So the second someone gets up to that mount position, I really want you focusing on turning to a side, getting your elbow in. They're smashing you, trying your kipping escapes, and getting to work from there, not just letting them settle into the position. Just seeing if there's anything else here at the end of the round. Nothing mage. Steven and Luke. And Victoria getting after it with Danny.
Inside trip.
She's got the single leg. I'm curious. I know it looks like they're talking finishes right now.
Pinching her knees and then trying to drive down to the mat.
Eric, maybe if you get good at jiu-jitsu, you can go. You could be their muscle and go get some of that money back for them.
Yeah.
Just be a brute.
Show the government what's up.
This is not legal advice, and I'm not to be taken seriously, nor Mike.
No. On YouTube, we're gonna have this big like watermark that just like flashes.
See, I got to roll with Haley over here on the side, and Ben's getting after it with Aries. So we're seeing Luke put to work his love of the Kimura, and even the variation he showed at class last week, I think, where he's working with his hamstring up on the shoulder in an effort to extract the arm, which was a really, really interesting detail I've never tried before. I don't think to my knowledge, I haven't seen it.
Kind of reminds me of a cross Kimura.
Kind of, yeah.
But
where he is now
here
is a bit closer to that.
Yeah.
But
it goes straight into that straight arm.
Like this position on the cross side shoulder, cross side from the arm he's attacking, right? If he's attacking Steven's left arm,
yeah,
he looks to put his hamstring on the right shoulder and use that to push down on the body as he tries to extract the arm. I think he's just up in Steven's armpit right now, so he's actually not like anywhere. He's not putting enough force on to extract the arm just because he's not by the elbow or the wrist. He doesn't have the like the double wrist lock, figure four. He's got this gable grip.
It kind of looks like he's setting up an Aoki type entrance, like the Aoki lock, how they come around over the top. It's very similar, except you would take the left heel inside the hip and use that as like your cross body. Okay. And then rotate around, and then his right leg would go across the face as the cross face leg. And then that would be the Aoki entrance.
Imagine he's probably trying to bicep slicer right now. Maybe.
He's really, I mean, we know what happens now, but he's really putting a ton of pressure here to extract, and then straight into that. I guess it would be an Udegatame, just a straight arm lock.
Yeah, Steven, did you just like let this one go and just tap immediately? Or yeah,
that looked tight.
He also seems pretty happy. Like there's a little smirk on his face here as he's doing this. Right here, I think you can see he's smiling about this. It was an interesting variation, and he kept the half guard bottom hook the whole time. Like he hasn't let this leg come out. So hoping to slip it.
It's actually
straight arm hit hard. Yeah.
It's actually really clever that he did that, because Steven, if Steven was able to walk around the body on that side, he would be able to build head height and get straight out of the shoulder threat, and then furthermore, he'd be able to, start countering that Kimura grip if he did get it.
Yeah. Miss you too, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing you back at class. The walkers were asking about you. They're like, where's she been? You better come with some knowledge. You had a class from Giancarlo Badoni. Get out of here. Sweet.
Awesome. See you tomorrow.
We've got another week of half guard to put you through, so we will all be more than happy to catch you up on what we've done. Let's see. So Aries riding mount with some grapevines. I just want to take a look at him real quick. Looks like he's been here a minute. Gets bend down, gets to mount. Okay, keep an eye on that. I like what you're doing here, Steven, with this body lock against Luke, or the body lock pass attempt. Trying to sit up instead of like being forced to work from your back is something I find really helpful. It's really difficult to do anything from here, where Luke has you now. So when you sit up, you bait those opportunities that come from like your opponent trying to force you to your back. You can maybe elevate them, pull you over top, their hips over your hips and elevate them, or commit their hands, down and start working sweeps, hook sweeps, all that sort of stuff is much more doable against a body lock when you're upright rather than on your back. Let's get Haley's armbar against me here. So quick crossover, weaves her leg in, no issue. There we go. Gets me down to the mat and controls the hand. I think that was what I commended her on that one. The hand control, you could see it completely shuts down my turning escape. So right here, she grabs like my wrist and my thumb, and now that's where, even if I tried to walk through this, I don't have the opportunity to like roll my arm in such a way that I can point my elbow in a safer direction, and that's where she gets the tap. As soon as I feel that arm extension and the hand control, you guys will get the tap for me 100%. Aries did something. Maybe he's just letting Ben up. Yeah, looks like they're just restarting.
Brandon's putting to work on Josh passing the half guard passing that we've been going over.
Using the wall.
Yeah.
Good. I want to see that. Use it if you got it.
Yeah, so Josh has this, I would call it a butterfly half guard.
A deep butterfly half guard.
Yeah, it's a really interesting. I say that I say that, but I know I do this myself. Like this is a really strong position because you get like a lot of tension on the body. But now that he's lost the leg, you can see how Brandon's cutting his left hip down to the mat, and he's bringing his left knee to the hip, to the right hip of Josh. And what this is starting to do is it's really starting to block Josh's movement to try and get his right leg down and face Brandon, which is really what he wants to do here. And you can see that Josh doesn't really know, like he's contemplating what to do with his left leg, keep it in as a butterfly hook or to drape it over and go to the traditional. And that was really kind of stifling Brandon's progress. But as soon as Josh took the leg away and went to the traditional half guard, Brandon was able to push his right knee through right here and drive across to the other side and go straight into a mount. So it's really nice. There was a lot of good technique there.
Lifts his leg up though, giving Josh the
entrance into Ashi.
Yep. Good hip control.
Very good.
That was good defense from Brandon. See if he can keep it going.
I love to see people I love to see people attacking legs, but like something that makes me even more proud of our school is the composure that we have when people get into the legs. Yeah. You know, like that's a really cool thing to see.
I wish I could see more of this setup from Luke here right at the bottom of the screen against Steven. But Steven takes advantage of a failed submission attempt here from Luke and gets the pass.
Oh, he's trying to go over for the arm lock.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shakes the head, jumps on the back. Follows him
Luke
up.
Ooh. Nice.
Yeah. Now Luke's... I would imagine Luke's about to get out of this.
Yeah, there is an arm lock possibly here, depending on how that right arm is.
Yeah, if he can get... I bet Luke's holding his hands together.
Yep.
He's well aware of the Americana threat. Now he's pretty much he's out of it. C-Bomb Fire, thank you for the follow.
Thank you. Me and Cole are going over the finer detail. Again, I think I've said this a number of times. 50-50 is my least favorite leg locking position. It's the one that I'm like the least proficient at, and I need to get better at it. But like what I do know of it, we're going over the importance of being able to, for those who don't know, 50-50 is named that way because you are literally in the exact same position. One person and the two people are in the same spot. But there is a way to hedge your bet, and that is to clear your knee line. So normally, like in this case, see how I'm trying to, so Cole is falling over to the side, to his right side to basically expose my heel, which one would think would be a really good tactic in order to start, getting into the heel hook. But what it does is it actually lets me clear my knee line down towards the mat here. So now my left knee is starting to go down south of his two knees, which means that even if he did have a heel hooking grip, it would be ineffective, I would say. And so we're talking about, how to basically attack by ensuring that the person's knee is secured. I guess. But yeah, he was doing the same thing to me here that he was doing to you, and getting a reaction out of me just by attacking like
Your
the other
foot.
leg. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is he doing that? But it hurts. So I gotta move.
Yeah, it makes me just want to like grab and bend people's feet more as a tactic.
Hey man, I mean the toe hold. You look at Gary. Gary has set up so many past, like some of the older matches of Tonin when he really came out onto the scene. Even when people were getting wise to the leg locking game, he would use the toe hold to set up heel hooks.
Right.
It's just that discomfort that comes along with it. You're like, oh shit, my ankle's in trouble. Oh, now my heel, now my knee's broke. You know, like
you move, you expose your heel.
Yep.
It takes advantage.
Yep.
So Andrew was coming at me with some ferocity at the beginning of this round. Really putting to work some of like the snap down stuff he and I have been talking about. Really just brute force heavy head pressure at that point. Hit him with an Arimi sweep. We get into a little dogfight here, and I managed to take top position. Aries and Chris, Steven and Josh, you and Kyle. Steven tried to shoot on Josh. I think I saw this today as well.
Yeah, and same for me too.
I feel like you don't shoot on Josh, you just pull turtle position.
So yeah, fair, right? So Josh, can you go back to where he had that cow catcher? Here. That's a cow catcher, right? Where you have that deep underhook on that far arm. This is a really strong grip, believe it or not. If you were to start walking around your hips to your left, around around to where the cursor is right now. Yep, that way. You can start applying basically like a deeper and deeper underhook with that left arm, and it will flop Steven over. If you can, it's a really simple movement, and it's extremely effective.
Yeah, really, really good leverage. You got a deep shoulder crunch on Kyle here. Looks like you sit him up.
Yeah, I didn't like where I was, but he started giving me a rotation a little bit here, and I was like, okay, I like this. And then eventually, I can send him over.
Messing with that, but not sure how to use it out to work. Yeah, we'll show you a class, and you'll never not do it again. And it's easy. It's just super easy. So this is where I started giving Andrew some shit about not getting his inside elbow position soon enough. We are hand fighting quite a bit here. Obviously, I'm upright, so my goal is to expose an arm. I'm not putting heavy chest pressure on to smother or anything like that. I only like to do that when I have a deep underhook and an arm over the head. But this is Andrew's time to also start moving me, maybe with some bridging, whatever. There we go. We see his arm slip into the middle or between my legs on the inside of my knee. This is now where he can start getting to work actually escaping. Before that, there was no escape happening. Turning the corner to a quick armbar, getting my leg over. Notice I don't like to leave my leg buried under the body.
In the quarter juji.
Yeah, plenty of people say you can do that. I agree. It's totally doable. I don't like it, and I do.
It's Hitchhiker City. Yeah. You can do the hitchhiker escape really easily without that crossbody.
And then notice, so I talked about this with Kurt's boys today. One thing we were seeing from some of their competition footage when they go for arm bars, and I think this definitely applies to like some of the white belts and stuff. We talk a lot about pinching the knees on arm bars, right? And that's I'm talking about right here when you have the arm isolated. Let's actually see let's see how much of a knee pinch I give here. So I'd say my knees are pretty pinched right now. this is one of those things. I talked about it on, I think on the last stream, when we talked about single legs, or it was one of the last streams. In single legs, we often talk about pinching the knees when we capture the leg up the middle, and we, for some reason, drill that detail in on running the pipe to finish the single. I said I'm kind of over that detail. I think a lot more focus needs to be put on the downward chest pressure into the leg to get the finish, right? Sure, pinch the knees, great, but you're going to step back anyway. The knee pinch here is another thing that I think gets a little too focused. It is an important detail. I'm not saying never do it. You absolutely need to do it. But what isn't done enough is curling the leg back. I want to see the heel being pulled all the way in towards your butt. Like that's a detail that I don't think gets emphasized enough when it comes to controlling posture and finishing an armbar. So when I looked at some of the footage from Kurt's boys in their competitions, that was one thing I saw. They pinch the legs, but they straighten their legs out, and that gives your opponent all the room they need to start hitchhiking or stacking, moving around and getting free. When you start to dig the heels in, you take away a whole nother line of movement that they need to exploit to escape. So when you can take that away, Andrew rolls up on me here. If I had straight legs right now, he could probably continue in this direction and roll around to a safer spot. But since I'm pulling my leg back against his body, pulling my leg back against his head, it obstructs his motion. It makes it easier for me to get the finish. So if you find you're having trouble with arm bars and like people just easily ripping their arms out, I want you to think more about pulling your heels to your butt rather than relying on the knee pinch. Again, continue with the knee pinch. It is important, but don't sleep on pulling the heels back in towards your opponent. Meanwhile, Andrew's back at really directing me, breaking my posture, putting to work that takedown that we showed the Walker twins. Mm-hmm. He's got that double, like the Muay Thai style clinch on me. So I just block one arm with my overhook on the bicep. I make sure that he can't base, and I go for the leg trip, take him over, and try to work towards a guard pass. I did that a few times, I think, yesterday. I can't remember who else. Steven working to, I thought a dorsal Kimura, but switching up almost to basically to a reverse top lock, or rear top lock, or whatever. Saying sweet things to Josh, maybe just asking him nicely to break his grip. Arsem's like, what school did I join? I look away for 1 second. Josh probably tapped. Okay, he broke the grip. Oh no, it looks like a bicep slicer.
Bicep.
So mean. Let's see. I work to a side triangle on Andrew here. Yeah, bicep slicers suck. Oh, we'll just highlight this real quick. So from side control, I control the arm, pull it up, set up my dorsal position, going for like the dorsal Kimura, but not really getting it. I can feel that I have Andrew's leg or Andrew's arm in with his head, so I have a triangle. I go for my Yoko Senkaku, a side triangle here, but I know I'm not getting it. So I switch up, and right there was all I needed. You'll see Andrew's hips come up. As he bridges, now his knuckles are behind his back. Whether he meant to or not, I put his or he put his own knuckles behind his back. So once I saw his hips come up, I switched my entire focus to a Kimura. No longer the side triangle, not a leg scissor. It was get his hand to the mat, get my hips up over top of him, because now his hand is behind his back, and I could finish an easy Kimura. It gets a little straight, but I'm hitting the Kimura mechanics, like the rotational finish. I'm not trying to attack his elbow here. So it's a different. We don't always see that outcome. I think we often see us finishing from a side triangle, attempting a leg scissor. But that's how you come up on the Kimura. You have to roll up. You don't necessarily need them to bridge, but you have to roll back up over top. Keep your legs in that powerful position to where you can control their head and shoulders, and then lift. I always tell you guys, get your elbow to their elbow and lift it towards the ceiling. I'm a man of my word. Look at what I'm doing. You can see the elbow lift. That's where the power in the Kimura is coming from for me.
It was a fun roll with Steven and Josh.
A little scrambly.
Something like that, yeah.
So, I mean,
Steven comes up on the head.
Josh gets
Josh
more
almost sidesteps it. Okay, and then it comes right up onto the into the mount.
with that 5-finger guillotine. It looked like.
Yep.
I've been giving you credit every time it comes up with like snap down mechanics, but this is purely over tie bicep grip snap down on Andrew.
Oh yeah.
So I just want to look at his foot position. I feel like I'm picking on Andrew just because I did catch some stuff on him this round, but from here,
Yeah, that was almost an Uchimata. Look
Yeah.
at your right leg. It was right there for the
Like-
lift.
accidentally, yeah,
Boom. That would have been.
that'd been pretty sweet. But yeah, this was me just shoving through the rest of the way. I didn't even really follow him down. He kind of got away from me.
Immediately going to peel that leg off, that left leg.
Yeah, I don't do anything quick enough, so I have to rely on the hand push, or try the hand push at least, and knee cut out. Steven muffling Josh. Same for you, Josh. This is where I want to see inside elbow position start happening. You can hand fight, or like you can win the hand fight or keep your arms safe the same time you're trying to get your elbows inside. All right, so I think I briefly mentioned it before. Arsim is a former state champ wrestler out of I think Virginia, and now he's 50 pounds heavier than me and a super beast. So it doesn't take long for him to just get me right on the ground. And
Is he only 50 pounds heavier than you?
he said he's 205. He could be lying. He looks bigger.
Give me a picture of the scale.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you'll see me throw up a few different triangle / armbar attempts on him, but he always shakes them off pretty easily. But here's, he was not complaining, but he was definitely admitting to it during class. He's like, once I get you down, once I get you pinned on your back or like whatever, I don't exactly know what to do after that. And that's purely just white belt, brand new, but you just see a real prowess in pinning, and like controlling people. Obviously we don't care about being on our backs, so it doesn't matter to us. Like this is death for me in a wrestling match. So from here, he has a harder time just understanding like what to do next, where to go. But I think that'll all come pretty quickly, and then it's going to be a bad day for all of us. Shout out BJJ at UCF, dog. That's what's up.
Yeah, so Nohabi he's like got this no-gi spider guard thing going on me. And we were really dry. So he just had a 2-on-1 and was just putting his foot right in my bicep and in my shoulder. and I was like trying to feel out which way I was going to be able to go with this. It was really hard to shake this grip. And then I started rotating a little bit, and I wound up getting inside position, and then it was pretty much done. I really wanted to pass him with a double under style pass.
So, to what I said earlier when we saw Arsum going with Kyle, I decided fairly early on in this match, just get to close guard. Get to close guard, get to work. Like, I attempt a shoulder crunch here. You could see I'm trying to hit this knee push to really straighten him out, but I just couldn't get enough purchase on the leg to like get an elevation. And wrestlers, I find, are the hardest people to finish the shoulder crunch on. Like they just are very good at getting their hips back up and scrambling out. So it was like, all right, screw this. Let's just go into my close guard game and see what I can do there. So getting the arm across the body, trying to get up over the back. Again, getting a little high, and he didn't really care. Just got right out. Hobby's pinning both your ankles, trying to spin around.
Yeah.
Briefly gets by.
Really,
there he goes.
I was really looking to get some good regards in on him. He's very dynamic, and so I was like, okay, well, let's see if I can regard fairly. You know, like I don't want to say easily, but like how quickly can I regard on him?
Yeah, let him
so
work
you'll
to
see
a
that
good guard pass.
Yep.
Get back around.
Yep. So I'm using a lot of inversions here, and I'm actually putting myself in north-south, because I'm finding that my knees getting in between. It's a lot easier in north-south now than it is in inside control on a lot of people. I wasn't going to do that again. That's how his ankle popped the first time.
It's very nice of you. Brandon and Brandon going at it too. Andrew and Ben.
No, Hobby actually is using the same tactics that I'm using against me, right? So he was doing a lot of inversions, and in these inversions, getting his knees in between and getting into really solid regard positions. And then I'd go through, I would pass, and then he would do the same thing. He'd give me good frames, invert, get his knees in between, regard. And I was like, okay, cool. Like,
yeah, his guard is
we
really
can both
solid.
play this game. Yeah.
Made a tactical switch here against Arsum at this point, knowing that I probably wasn't going to get him elevated and get him off balance and expose his legs in a traditional way from half guard, you know, with the knee, you know, shoving my knee shield in him, anything like that, just because of his good base and constant forward pressure. I decided to work the half guard approach of getting my underhook. I believe I take it down to the leg though. I don't go to a tight waist. So from here, I'm looking, my intention is to get to the back. So I do take a tight waist here. Let's see if I bump him down. I'm looking to get in this instance the leg lever, where I'm like using his foot, pulling him outward, trying to get him over. Again,
You're trying to take him to your left.
exactly, and it's just not really working. Like I couldn't get it, but I come up to my knees. Now I'm in this dogfight position. He's got a good whizzer. I'm probably not going to win this here. So I dive under, and I look to start going out the back with this deep half position. And like this, this is the more, I think, traditional like Jeff Glover, single leg deep half approach. I get his leg up over mine, try to start escaping out the back, switch to the other leg in that transition, and you know, I guess just do kind of a dick move considering he's a white belt, but I was getting smashed and I don't care. and I knew I wouldn't hurt him. So I switch legs. I get his foot exposed, and I just go for a toe hold. I'm like, it's right there. I get it. He taps. So I had to really take a different tactical approach because, face on, I'm not going to win that battle. Arsim's very strong, very technically proficient, very good base, so sweeping him isn't going to be easy, especially at a weight and strength disadvantage. So it was more about getting underneath him, getting behind him, and then getting to work on the leg, taking a different path to get there than I normally do.
So the two Brandons are training up here on the right, and Tall Brandon had a Kimura threat probably about 20 seconds ago. Right about here, right? So he's in butterfly guard, he's pinned the wrist, and he's got the length here, right, to go through and immediately get this.
Wow.
Now, Brandon, I don't know if you're watching this or not, but really what I would like to see you do is commit to what we call the flying Kimura, and which would be a shoulder roll over your left shoulder. So really diving, so you would build up hip height and then dive over your left shoulder towards Brandon's left shoulder, right? And that would clear the guard and give you, a back take possibility, obviously continuing the Kimura threat, all sorts of situations that you have here, but you're not in a bad spot. You put yourself into a half guard, which is going to be better than fighting against a butterfly guard in a lot of ways, but just know that you have the makings of a very strong Kimura threat there for passing guard.
Yeah, we should show him that rolling Kimura, just like where to end up.
Yeah, and it looks flashy, but it's really not it's a very controlling movement.
Oh, Josh and Luke are going over here on the side. I guess they've been off the mat.
I didn't see that.
Luke's been hitting.
There was a good sit out.
He just hit like 2 in a row, so he hits one right there, gets Josh moving. And then hits another one again.
Josh keeps shutting it down.
Yeah.
Not shutting down the sit out. Obviously, Luke got 2 sit outs there, but what Luke is really trying to do is snatch a leg and drive back in and put Josh back on his butt. And Josh is very quick with that sprawl. He threw up that trap triangle.
Nabi said to me, I'm totally going to put words in his mouth right now, but he did say to me that I think he's trying to find himself in more leg lock positions because he realizes it's something he wants to focus on and just learn more of. It's a part of his game that's a little stagnant, I think. So
for him,
I think if we treat his right leg with a little bit of respect, not further injure it, he'll be digging in on our legs soon enough. So. Chris has been getting a little annoying up in the stand-up game. I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
He's making very strong upper body connections. I'd like to see him get like one takedown that he really likes and and really drill in on it. This was the same takedown I hit on Andrew earlier with the. I don't know if he may have had the 2-on-1 grip. Let me see. Yeah, he's got his left arm on the Muay Thai clinch. There he puts his second hand up. So I say, cool, I'll take it. I wrap him up nice and tight here, and then this is not very different, slightly different just with this grip. Normally you'll see this hand on the tricep just because I need to prevent him from basing out. But I think because we were so tight, like he had completely broken my posture down and had his elbows very tight, so I could manage to reach all the way up, block his arm, and keep a very good connection of our shoulder line and our heads together, so that wherever I was going, he was going to go with me. So I get that wrapped up and get a nice little toss out of it. Danny trying to break your shin. And then take it back.
Steven. Yep.
Or yeah, Steven, not Danny.
It's the brief moment where I was on top this round.
Steven had my number later in some half guard positional sparring we were doing. I didn't get a damn thing on him. I know, Steve. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean it. Imagine how Danny feels that I mixed you guys up. Oh, Danny just about getting an arm bar. That's the straightest the straightest I saw Arsem's arm get out of any of the attempts I did. Oh, hey, Danny. I thought you never watched anymore. Now I know you just say that to hurt my feelings. Quick guard pass from Steven there.
Yeah. Just got internet. Out of the commune.
Right now his daughter's out in the yard holding the satellite perfectly still,
Yeah.
aimed in one direction. Father of the year. Happy Father's Day to all the dads in the chat. So Chris did a really great job this round shutting down all of my back attempts. Here I'm trying to get up to a rear triangle because my rear naked strangle just like, I wasn't even getting to the position. And I did a very good job of burning my forearms out this round. Right about here, my arms were just utterly dead. So now he shakes all those attempts and manages to get me turtled up and fully takes it to me for the rest of this round, for like the next 2.5 minutes, two and a quarter minutes. Really throwing at me some good back attacks. I had to fight very deeply out of some late stage strangles. Let's see what Andrew and Josh are doing. Who gets what here? So we're in a bit of a 50-50 shootout. Or that's Cole, my bad. And that I'm not sorry about, because you guys wear the same rash guard and it's bound to happen. And you do that on purpose. And I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry, dude. Cole digging very deep on the they're basically twins. I don't know, dude, you're both pretty huge. Vampire, are you one of our Mooresville students? If you are, you don't need to out yourself unless you want to. Before we get too far from this, so Cole, this goes back to a few things I've gone over with the straight ankle lock. Remember that there's a difference here in hip position between straight ankles and heel hooks. So you have the straight ankle, but your hips are very close to his. I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but it is a little bit more difficult to get the straight ankle when your hips are that close. If you look at professional matches that end in straight ankles, you're often going to find the aggressor's feet are like stepping on the hip or on the thigh. they're pulling their hips away from the hips. They're going all the way down to the end of the leg, keeping their hands high to their chin, straightening out, all that stuff. So keep that in mind if you do find yourself in this position and you want to finish this, or you can be like Peters and grab the straight ankle, never give it back, and just roll around and put them in terrible spots to where they expose their heel and you end up getting a heel hook anyway.
Yeah.
Which is also equally frustrating.
Yeah, here, Cole, I would actually so here it's kind of, I don't know, for me it's interesting, for everybody else is probably boring as hell, but so 50-50 and outside or straight ashi are not very different positions. 50-50 is what you're in right now, Cole, right? You guys are literally in the same position, Andrew and Cole. If you were to take Andrew's leg from the left side of your body to the right side of your body, then you have a straight ashi position. What I like about the straight ashi position is that it puts all of the leverage in your, like, on your side, right? That means that if the leg is on your right side and you have his left leg completely isolated, he has nothing on your leg and you have everything on his leg. But if you pass it over and you let it ride in 50-50, he has an equal opportunity to break your leg, right? So in those types of scenarios, I would advise putting it onto the straight side, right, and attacking the outside heel hook or the straight ankle on that on the proper side of your body. Number one, it's going to be a more intense break if you're on that same side. But number two, again, like, you're not going to get counter heel hooked or counter straight ankled if you are in straight ashi position.
Right here at the end, I managed to squirrel myself out of the back attacks from Chris, but not to a decent position. So I just keep finding myself doing the exact opposite. Yeah, if you're going to, you're gonna
it
suck
happens.
at leg locks and then it'll click.
It clicks, yeah.
Are you just keeping it a mystery, Bonfire? You don't want to tell us?
Tell us at class, please. We won't dox you here.
I totally will by accident.
Yeah, that's fair. Don't tell us.
Or dox yourself so I don't feel bad. Oh, big throw from Steven.
That was a
mean, dude.
And what's mean is the after.
Yeah. Just looks
just
at
stands
him
up,
like, what?
shakes it off a little bit,
and then walks completely upright towards him.
Yep.
What a dick. I hope Chris hits a deli heave sweep on you right now.
God.
The only in the class taller than you, Matt. Wait, what? Taller? Everyone's taller than me. In the weight class? Everybody liked Steven's throw, I think. Oh, the only teen in the class.
Mm.
Man. I'm gonna say Logan. Maybe Logan. Right? Oh no, it's Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Logan's
who I would
probably
say.
taller than me too. I'm just gonna assume it's Cooper now. Let's see. I'm trying to
Good
get-
job. Good job.
Thanks, Coop. Glad to have you in the chat, man.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat you up now. You're throwing short jokes at me already. Oh, and super big props to Haley for spending some time with Jackson and Henry. That was very kind of her.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw her training with them over on the side with Andrew watching. So really, really good. Love to see it. Steven with the standing guillotine.
Josh almost with the back take. How did he get to that position? I didn't see how he got into that.
So from mount, he had me mounted here for a bit.
Okay.
Starts cutting around.
To modified, yeah.
Yeah, and I just really made a hard effort to turn towards him as he tried to take the side. So there, I'm just trying to get my elbow back down between us to take away the back.
And Steven, same thing that we talked to Josh. I know you know, but you had that cow catcher on Chris just a little bit further back.
Oh, before.
He stands up, and you'll see him go for this, and then the under, like he's going for the guillotine, then he gets this cow catcher here,
Yeah.
and that's a strong throw. If that's like all you would have to do is a strong outside trip, or you don't even have to throw him, right?
Nope.
You just lift your right arm and drop down with the left elbow,
Yeah.
and it'll twist down.
Yeah, you just point your elbow to the ground, put all that. You have so much ability to like drop your body weight on him.
Yeah.
Now. You got him right down. You don't have to throw him and then stand over him like you did the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could actually be nice to each other, you know. He's got you and Mitchell going.
Oh yeah, no, Hobby was walking Mitchell through the omoplata.
Stop trying to sound tough, Steven. You're a sweetie pie and you know it. As he's going for a knee bar on Chris right now.
Yeah.
Alright, Chris gets out though. He's safe. So this was, I was doing a lot, every chance I had to try to stand up out of Josh's, like back takes and stuff. But he did a really great job keeping it, not letting me open up his hands. Once I break your grip on your hands, if you're behind me, I'm gonna stand, or I'm gonna get out. And he managed to thwart that.
He's doing a really good job of switching the seatbelt and like not really freaking out about this about his hand position. I would say.
I was freaking out about it.
Yeah, no, I can see why.
I don't like having Josh on my back anymore. Like I don't really feel comfortable here. He's immediately trying to pummel, trying to control a hand, all this stuff. There he's trying to leg trap. I make a very serious effort to try to get my head to the mat, which he keeps shutting down with that underhook. Now that he doesn't have an underhook, it's a little bit easier for me to miss a line. Now I can start turning back towards him. But it's all like very opportunistic on my part. I'm trying to adapt to how he is trying to navigate the hand fight and looking for every chance I can get to get out. That was pretty slick of him. So he's basically in cross ashi, inverts, and ends up in an outside ashi. Well, 50-50-ish.
50-50. And then you go in across.
Yeah. I don't get to a leg position I like, though. I didn't feel safe there.
Yeah.
In fact, Steven, he's telling the truth. All right, I trust James. Oh,
That's a deep Kimura.
Yeah.
But he got it. I guess just he rolled out of it and either gave up on the grip or lost it in the transition.
So this is like textbook Kimura work. Steven smelt blood in the water immediately here. As soon as Chris's hand hits the mat, Steven knows he's got an opportunity on this arm. So you can see he starts going for it. I feel like Steven doesn't want to telegraph it right away.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's kind of stiff arming the arm out. Now as Chris tries to bring it back, this is where Steven says, all right, now I can lock up my double wrist grip. Got to send his elbow down towards the other elbow a little bit more just to complete the grip. Now Chris is in some trouble, and he knows it. So he hits the roll and manages to shake the grip. He was in a fair bit of trouble there for a second.
What I really like about this setup is that Steven, he's trying to close the distance, right? And I don't know, I feel like when I started doing Kimuras, my focus was, you know, if I couldn't get the grip right away, was to like just pull and hope that I was going to be able to catch the wrist, right? And basically, if I was Steven here, try and send Chris to my right immediately and hope that I get it, right? But what Steven does here is he uses his knee shield and then a hip bump here in order to send his arm in a little bit deeper. So he gets it on this first one. He's not quite there because Chris pushes his hand away, or he's trying to straighten his arm. He knows that he's in trouble, but Steven doesn't give up on it, right? He goes one, and then he gives another big one and really starts driving over there. And then now Chris tries to bring his arm in front. Steven's now able to go and grab the double wrist and put it behind the back.
Yeah, I also like to switch from half guard to like just the butterfly, like Sumigashi hook in. Like he takes that bottom leg out and almost gets a sweep off of this.
It does, yes.
Which would have also, it could have ended in a Kimura just with Chris on his back. But now Steven has basically put him in either Kimura trouble or the Kimura trap, where he's going to roll with this. And he manages to go for the latter. But yeah, that was nice. Really good. Oops, got rid of both of us. Really good off balancing, like multiple times to get that where you needed it. Just some constant forward pressure and some knee cuts to get around Josh's guard. It's that easy, everybody. I didn't get to see much of this match. I love Arsum just forcing Steven's face to the mat like that. Makes me happy.
A new guy named Arsum.
He's a former state champ wrestler, so he's got some jiu-jitsu to learn, but he will put you on your ass and keep you there. Oh, Chris in an inside heel hook. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun new challenge.
So another example of 50-50 when your knee line is clear is exactly what Chris is doing here. So Chris's knee, even though he's coming up and addressing the grip, because Cole's got a strong grip, it might cause him potentially ankle problems, or a little bit of tension on the ankle. But there's really no risk to the knee here, because Chris's left knee is south of Cole's hips, and so this is a really strong braking position for Chris here. And I mean, this is a great example here again. Like, left knee is completely below the butt. No issues from a leg entanglement problem, or like on Chris's side here.
Yeah, his arm position needs to be shortened up a little bit, but
Yeah,
good otherwise.
the heel hook grip was a little weak. Definitely needs to be worked on. Here it was okay, but there,
Yeah.
as soon as it gets into the elbow, I'm not liking it anymore.
Yeah. Nahabi had another. I feel like he had another dangerous armbar attempt on me. Here he almost gets me in an omoplata. This may have been it. I can't remember. I grabbed the stickiest like chin strap grip I could on this position, and even though he bucks me over, I kept it the whole time just to be able to stand back up out of that fight, because he also had me in a headlock there.
How did Steven get on top?
How
He
the hell
swept.
did Steven get on top? I wish I was as fat as Steven. Damn, just a little like scissor sweep action.
Yeah, he's just caught him a little bit of shoulder, like lifting the shoulder just a hair.
And with double underhooks.
Yep.
I think that's really what did it there.
Yep. So now, Cole, you were very close to that position in this exchange with Chris. When you were on your left hip, your knee line was very close to being clear.
Yeah.
You were totally in control of 50-50. But now, as soon as your knee line again goes north, now you guys are in neutral territory. I'm going to keep calling that out for you, Cole, just so you can see when you are in advantageous and then kind of an equal fight with your partner.
If you guys want some cheap submissions on Arsum while he's still growing accustomed to jiu-jitsu habits, go ahead and try and get him belly down. He's a wrestler,
Yeah.
So they normally like to go flat and wait for the ref to restart it. That's a great spot for us. But I already warned him yesterday that's a habit he's going to need to break, and I want to see him working towards turtle if he has to get to that position. So
Yeah,
you
or
can see
4-point. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. You can see here he makes the adjustment. He gets his hips up. That probably just gives Steven a chance to get the legs in deeper and secure the back, but it's going to be easier to fight off Steven from here than it is from, belly down starfish, as you guys like to call it. Chris going for the standing guard break. Gets it. I'd like to see more control over that leg.
There's an arm attack here
From Nahabi.
Nahabi.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is what it was. I was like, I'm in some trouble right now.
He backed off of that grip for some reason. I don't know what.
I don't
It
know.
looked pretty deep.
He's really solid at navigating arm bars from odd angles.
Yeah, that was a really cool entrance.
So let's see what Arsum does here against seated opponent. Oh,
Leg drag.
beautiful, quick leg drag. That was really nice. So pulls it by.
Yep.
Now he's basically, this leg needs to move behind Steven's leg, but he's essentially almost behind Steven. Quick movement around. That was solid.
Yep.
I don't even think it didn't even look like Steven's leg was resisting, like pulling against that. He just hit it so quickly.
Right.
There we go. Now Arsum's got to get his legs in. He's got to get the hooks. See if he can turn Steven over. That's the other thing. So we love using the power halves, all that stuff. I would expect Arsum has a few tricks up his arsenal for flipping an opponent over and exposing their back to the mat when they're
Referee's position.
yeah, exactly. And I'm pretty confident he did Falk freestyle and Greco, so he was well versed in all of them. Nahabi is doing well with my standing guard break attempt. He really likes the scoop grip headstand sweep, and he catches me with it a little further back. Look at this. Wonderful form. 10 of 10.
Yep.
Hand right up there. Bringing the hips up high. Getting my leg over. Keeping his legs, his ankles crossed. I instinctively put a hand to his chest to keep him from taking top position. That's a vulnerable arm. Like, I put myself in a position where he could triangle me or armbar me, but I had to keep him from coming forward. So right there, I'm in a little bit of trouble, but I'm up on my elbow. I can pressure forward and get safe. And I say, cool story. Do it again. Reach back, and then I spin by his leg. Not that I'm in anywhere good, because he's guarding right now, so. Doing the same kind of thing he did to you, feet in the armpits, getting me off balance.
Yep. Yeah, it was really nice. Does the concrete wall.
Yeah, Steven and Arsenal almost bashed their heads into the wall. But
did you catch the wall, Steven?
No, we saw it on the other camera. They didn't hit. It would have been Arsem's head, I think. It's because he drives through this double. But let's look at this slow. I love, like, we see Steven walking forward, and just watch how automatic Arsem's level change to the double is on this. So Steven's walking forward with a very upright posture. Yeah. And it's like, wait a minute, where'd he go? And what's on my legs right now? And look at the blast double, straight driving through into the center block wall. I'll get it one more time. A little faster. So he gets Steven walking towards him, quick level change, and then just right off that back foot, driving.
And that's a forehead into the belly blast double.
Yeah, this is like Jordan Burroughs style.
Yep.
Coop, since you're in the chat, I want you to take note of this knee, this front knee. I often have to correct a lot of you guys with penetration steps. The front knee is dropping forward, right? That's what's getting you under your opponent and able to pick them up and take them forward. This was a finish that was more straight through the body. I was going over with Kurt's kids today a more lateral finish on that. But either way, I want that penetration step. That front knee has to go down. I think I know I pointed that out to the kids. That's why I'm calling you out, Cooper. But definitely something any of us who are not wrestlers could stand to practice.
Yep.
Chris making his way up to a mounted triangle position here. Let's see what he does. It looked like he was thinking armbar. All right. Oh, me and Luke. Great. I think more people join. So I think I've talked a lot about this, especially whenever we go over half guard week. With Luke, my favorite passing position is working from half guard. From here, working towards my underhook, my cross face. Here I'm doing none of that, which is probably why I don't pass his guard yet. Can't remember if that's what I worked. He's trying to work the Craig Jones style false reap with me, but I'm keeping that leg.
Oh my gosh.
What in the hell was that? Oh, I think it was just a reaction to the guillotine here. This is so violent. And props to Arsem for not actually slamming him.
Oh yeah. No, this is control.
Let's look at this in actual speed.
Chris is like, wee. Yeah.
I want to see this. So right here, blast a lot. It's like, you're on my head, get off of my head.
That's amazing.
Man, that was hilarious. So yeah, thank you, Arson, for not breaking the concrete foundation with Chris's body. So Luke and I getting into our own 50-50 exchange here briefly.
Yep. Yep. I was gonna say, that's the pass that he does for me too.
Yeah, so really heavy. Luke has just been trying to use body locks to climb up the body straight into mount lately, maybe over the past 2 months or so. But when I'm denying him that with this, I don't want to say I'm denying it, but I'm really making it difficult for him to get to at least side control with controlling the head. But since I'm pulling my knees in, I'm not letting him easily get to a mount position. Once I pull my knee through, like right here, like he's just not gonna get to mount at that point. So he's like, all right, fine. You want my head on this side? I'll just take my hips to the other side. So he came at me with a pass straight up in the mount that I tried to shut down. I felt really good about that shoulder push.
Yeah.
Just to get my guard back. I'm so stoked that Nahabi uses that headstand sweep like automatically.
Oh yeah.
I feel like nobody else does that enough, despite the fact that I've taught it numerous times. God, I can't believe that was such a great clip.
On the head, you've got
the difference between my cow
makings.
catcher grip and everybody else's is I'm on my ass right now. I have no ability to move Luke.
I was thinking more along the lines of the shoulder crunch. You have the makings of that shoulder crunch.
Yeah. Luke's so quick on pummeling out.
Yep.
Tries to hit the Estima lock on me, and I just roll with it because I hate him. I wonder why Chris set the guard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see how that ended. I think maybe Chris got something there. He's on his back, obviously, but like he's in close guard.
Yeah, couldn't tell.
Yeah. Hobby in on the legs. Trying to get there at least.
He's really digging like these this backside entrance and then threatening the back take.
Yeah.
I think that'll translate very well into his D game.
Oh yeah, that'll suck.
Mm-hmm.
Because he'll just have like cuff grips on the legs or on the sleeves, reaching up, grabbing your belt, pulling you down. That's gonna be really miserable. Steven throwing up some kind of unorthodox Katagatame attempts there. So I was feeling really good about this roll with Luke until right about now.
Fill them out. Yeah.
And even so, for like the next minute, he was there for a minute and a half. For the first minute, I was doing pretty well. Just staying safe. Which to me, with Luke, that's doing pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, he's trying to peel hands away. He's trying to go figure out which one's going to be the one to peel.
And the whole time, that's all he's looking for.
Yeah.
He didn't even care about the arms. It was fully an attempt to get me to take my
Yep.
arms away from my face,
That's right.
because you'll see as he starts to get in close, I immediately take my hands up to my face just to like protect from the smother. I think he knew I wasn't going to let him take my back here. Like, my top arm isn't in a good enough position. So he said, yeah, that's fine. Just get your arms out of my way. And then this was straight sternum smashing the bridge of my nose, which is always fun. I think we got to show Arsum a body lock pass. I think that's going to be good for him.
He's got to break out a close guard. We got to show him
Fair.
how to do that first.
Yeah. It's me and Ares.
Nice.
Yeah, just sloppy. Just taking advantage of the trip.
Well, the head position that you had was really good because you had your head in his neck, and then you started using a collar tie on the opposite side to really close that distance. So he couldn't really judge what was going on with his right foot. And then now, like, he could barely see what's going on here, right? And then you give him a nice twist, push, and then you have the threat of the single leg. So he has to think about that as well.
Yeah, and I think he was relying on the Russian tie on my left arm to do something with that.
Oh, nice. Oh, that was a slick reversal from him. So he comes up, he's going to try and hip toss you. And that obviously was not happening because you take him backwards.
Yeah, and he just kept it going.
And he just, yeah. I thought you were going to get a back take out of that, and then he gets you up into side control. That was interesting.
Yep. And now I'm where I hate, which is in case of Katame against somebody with judo experience.
Oh, he's getting against the judoka. Yeah.
Yeah, I try not to hang out there too long.
And on the arm?
Hide you here. Yeah, go stick my arm out. I just kind of control the ankles at that point. And
I like what you're doing there, yeah. Walking your head towards his, walking your hips towards his head to alleviate the pressure and break his grip.
Josh and Cole doing some passing. Steven and Danny.
Well,
Well. Danny should have taken full advantage of that. Maybe they were just being nice.
Uchimata.
Is this a takedown round? That was a nice Uchimata.
Danny, we need you looking away from those snaps. Like, you need to look in the direction that you're going to take Steven.
So just because it was going around this week on Instagram, Gordon Ryan's high hand position, but not a high elbow guillotine, like a high risk guillotine with the arm wrap. Figured I'd give it a try. So my hands aren't connected here. You'll see right at the end, my fingers are poking through on the strangle arm, but my other arm is preventing Ares. If he tries to reach up and take the strangle thread away by pulling my shoulder down, that my left arm is taking that away from him. So it's an open-handed or an open grip guillotine, but you really need like a high hand position. You can see I'm trying to climb my hands up higher and higher to get that one. You can play the one takedown right
Wait,
there. We're trying to figure out.
Is it the double leg? I think it was a double. You go in for a single leg, you catch it, and then you switch up to like a knee pick, and then double leg. Oh, I didn't see your right leg.
This is a Kouchi Gari, I would say, like kind of a small outside trip. So he's got the single leg with that outside trip.
Yep.
Gets Danny.
And Danny has the makings of he's looking for that 100%er grip, which is very similar to a cow catcher, right? Cow catcher's finish is a little bit different. Cow catcher would be if you walk your way around the body and try and pop your opponent down and rotate them through. The 100%er grip would be if Danny makes a connection here, at the shoulders, and then can lever up his elbow. So it's different, but very similar.
Steve says they're looking to see how he got out of this, I think. So right there, Danny's got a closed grip.
Yep. So he's got that 100%er grip.
Yeah, it looks like you just shucked him by. I mean, this is the motion. That
it was kind of like you were running the pipe the wrong way. Is how you did it.
Yeah, basically. That's what got Danny to unlock his grip right here, and then now you just recollected the leg.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is just a big shuck.
That's similar to that shaking off the power half that we saw.
Yep.
That we were trying there for a bit.
Yeah, until my shoulder said no more.
Little sloppy with the attempted pass there, Aries. Just I like the leg pin, but as you try to slide through, just full back exposure, which is not good. I would just keep your chest, pointed to the ground. You can still kind of like move your hips in a way that'll get you where you want to, but you can't let your chest point towards the wall or towards the ceiling. Oh, nice takedown.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good adjustment. So Danny tries to go for like a head toss position into the wizard. I wish I could see Steven. I think Steven's got, okay, it's an open grip there, but just full turn on the upper body with a trip behind the legs. This is just straight jacket method stuff on Aries here. Nothing too fancy. Danny with the low single attempt right at the very end. Then we got like half around here because I think Steven and I peter out some half guard positional drilling, which I think I failed at every round here, or at every attempt, so let's see where I went wrong. So really trying to dig on the legs, almost getting to a cross ashi there.
Mm-hmm.
Steven stays pretty composed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slips a leg. I was looking to do some standing passing there. It just did not work for me.
Guillotine threat. Oh, and then he slips his head.
Yeah, I think I was trying to get my hips out here to move to a clamp position.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like that's something I need to work on a bit more in like these body lock positions. Like it's a difficult spot to get to.
Yeah, it seems like the right thing to do, but I'm having a hard time getting there myself.
Yeah.
Into butterfly half.
Back to
Very strong chest to chest connection by Steven here.
And I'm probably covered in all the Aquaphor that Josh put on before he came to class, so it's pretty easy to slip my leg off, or to
Very
slip.
nice.
Yeah. This was an interesting. I tried this on a whim. Steven and I talked about it afterwards, but like just the kind of like reach around sit up position that Craig Jones was doing there for a little bit. I've never worked with that position before. I'm like, let's see what happens with this. And
Yeah.
my arm felt very vulnerable, and I got my back
Yep.
taken. So probably won't do that anymore. Yeah, octopus guard. That's what it was. Which again, if it's a guard with a stupid name, I hate it anyway. If he just would have said octopus in Japanese, I probably would have liked it.
Yeah.
Steven slips right out of my back take.
Into turtle.
So I've been really trying to get to a seated Katagatame lately, which I wanted to try there. I was a lot less focused on the back take and more just threatening that, just because I've seen it a few times, but I don't think I've ever done it myself. Just kicking him in the face. Foot push. It was a foot push. I think this is our last exchange. Trying to get off balance to get the inversion on Steven's left leg, which he's not falling for. And then Steven working what Bertram really loves, which is like that leg weave position.
Mm-hmm.
I go for my Kimura. Steven slips the elbow. Doing a good job controlling the legs. I tell him I'm done. And that's that. Really, really fun. Great Saturday class. And we had a killer Sunday class today too. So we'll pull that footage out at some point. Maybe after I forget to press record again on the camera. We have that sitting in the chamber. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate
thank you.
all the support. Everyone following. Coop, thanks for the follow, buddy. And thanks for tuning in and chatting. Wow, dude. Okay. What about me, bro? Go lotion up, Josh. You're fine. Anyway, let's see. July 29th, next competition. I think that's all we got coming up right now. Oh, and yeah, be ready to, if you guys can support Kurt's Boys, they're going to be competing in their own little super fights in like a week and a half. I think July 1st. So we'll probably see some of that footage here pretty soon. So you're right, you did. Thank you, bud. In any case, please follow us here if you're not. We appreciate the support. You could subscribe as well. You can use your Twitch Prime, which costs you nothing and really helps us out a lot. So do that if you can. We would love it. Other than that, you could also subscribe at YouTube. And yeah, I think we'll just leave it at that. I'm pretty tired.
Yep.
So you guys go rest up, Go trim your nails and do your laundry, and don't be stinky. And we will see you back on the mats tomorrow. Take it easy, guys.
Later.
Need a what? Need a how-to on Twitch Prime? Google it. Go ask ChatGPT, and then get frustrated and just do a regular subscription for like 6 months. Okay, thanks. Bye.